Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
It's 8:30 in Abuja, it's 9:30 in Alexandria, and I think it's 11:30 in the Gulf. But you know what time it is? It's time for Viewers Pulse, because we're never late at Huda TV. That's right, we're always on time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to one of your favorite programs, Viewers Pulse. We don't want to say your favorite program because we have a lot of good and wonderful programs like Ask Huda, Gardens of the Pious, and many, many other programs, including the all-new program Ummah Tonight, which I want you guys to check out Saturdays and Mondays at this exact time. Having said that, you guys, welcome once again, like I said, to Viewers Pulse and to Huda TV. You know the contact information. If you don't, you have to memorize this phone number and put it into your mobile phone, 0020238555248 or 9. That should appear on your screen. If the brothers in the control got that up there, inshallah. The email, of course, is pulse, like your pulse at home, in your body rather, pulse@huda.tv, PULSE @huda.tv. Don't ever, 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 ever forget Facebook, inshallah, because it's our main mechanism to hook up with you guys. The Huda TV Facebook is facebook.com/HudaTV or Huda.tv, whichever you like. And don't forget to like and share the pages. And Skype, you guys, once they get Skype on there, write down that Skype ID name, because you can call this program and all programs absolutely free of charge, Huda_TV, and you can even use the webcam. Before I introduce my special guest, I want to take a moment to give a special thank you to all the people that work on this program, because I know you only see Brother Malik in front of the camera, but there's a lot of people behind the camera in the control that really do a lot of work. Starting with the director, Yasser Awesome. We also have Brother Faiz Taha, who does a lot of work. Don't forget Ahmed Ali. Welcome, brother. He's a new member to the Huda TV family. We have, of course, all these brothers, mashallah, Tajuddin. We have Mr. Muhammad Shawki. We have Ibrahim Ashur. We have Muhammad Sayyid. We have Ihab Abu Yazid, my good friend, Ihab Abu Yazid. We have Samir Ali Mahdi from Monafea. And we have Muhammad Sami. We have a lot of people. We have Brother Ismail as well. A lot of people, long story short, that make this program happen. So we want to thank them all from the bottom of my heart. We really, truly are Eid Waqta, as we say. Having said that, let me introduce my special guest, Brother Wisam Magdy, and local engineer based here in Cairo. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for joining me.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, you know what? I'm really pleased to have you here, because this program, Viewers Pulse, really it's about the pulse of the viewers. And so I really want to bring you in the capacity as a viewer to Huda TV and comment upon the importance of English language Islamic media, Brother Wasim. How important is it for us to have a voice in the media? How important is it for English language channels to be broadcasting Islamic information like Huda TV?
To be honest with you, actually, I began knowing Huda TV for about 4 months ago. So it started again. I had a Chinese college. He's a Chinese engineer, worked with me in the factory. So he started asking me about Islam and knowing other information about it and how it can be represented to him in a simple way. Especially the language barrier may cause, some sort of misunderstanding.
Because there's not a lot of Islamic channels in Chinese.
Yes.
So
By the way, I started to learn Chinese 3 months ago.
Although there is a lot of Chinese Muslims, we have to say that. We don't want to forget that. I met many of them in Hajj. There's like hundreds of millions of them. I met them in Hajj, and I do know how to say ni hao.
你好吗？我叫Wisam，我是工程师。
So, okay, so your Chinese colleague was asking you about Islam, so you directed him to Huda TV.
Yeah, I directed him to Huda TV. He wanted to know more about Islam. You know, we worked together for about 8 hours, so I don't have enough time to, explain a lot of things in Islam. Especially one of the workers can see Muslims while they are praying during the break.
Right. The non-Muslim people.
Yes, the non-Muslims people. Especially in this career, the engineering career, you don't have enough, emotional contact or social contact with your college. We're all talking about specific topics or communication or electronic topics. So you don't discuss through some, social life topics. All what I wanted to know or all I wanted to understand is how does those people think?
Right, right.
What's the entrance to them, how to introduce them to Islam in the best way.
Right, right.
So some of my colleges are, like pushy.
Right.
So they want to know everything about non-Muslims. They want to know their habits, their traditions.
About Muslims?
About non-Muslims.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because if I want to represent Islam, I must know who I am representing Islam to.
Right, of course.
Am I representing Islam to a Buddhian or a Christian or a Jewish?
Right.
So I must know his background to know the best entrance. So I'm going to take the Chinese example because some of the Chinese are communists. You don't believe in God at all. So you have to know. You have to make them get convenienced with something, because if I'm talking with a Christian, I may have the Bible.
Right,
okay,
right,
so
right.
oh yeah, like I say something in the Bible, we have a God, we have the Jesus Christ.
You have to know his background.
Yes, but the Chinese are more difficult, especially with the language barrier. So you have to represent Islam by doing, by acting.
Right, right.
So meaning to be honest with them, keeping my job well, doing all my tasks at time. This is a good representing for Islam from their point of view, especially the Chinese people don't trust anyone very easily.
Yeah.
You know?
Brother, I want to interrupt you briefly because we do have a report, but I want you to get back to this topic because it's an interesting one.
Okay.
We have a report. Let me just share it with you, Brother Wasim. This brother, Omar Dunlap, used to work with us, part of the Hood TV family. I never met him personally.
Okay.
He was here before I arrived. He was a former host of Let's Talk. He was an American man, a young adult, I believe in his late 20s or something, who accepted Islam. And I lived here in Egypt for some time and worked with us. Now he returned back to his country. Yeah, and he's still very active, okay? So although the viewers haven't seen him in a while, he's still back in his country in the United States giving dawah. So we want to shed some light on, we want to give him a little exposure and perhaps help him with his efforts. I contacted him on Facebook. I said, brother, do you mind if I use your YouTube video titled Why I Became Muslim? And it's interesting. So I thought, he said, no problem, brother, go ahead. Of course, it's for the dawah, we can use it. So you guys at home, I want you guys to check out this video from your old friend, the former host of Let's Talk, American revert to Islam, Omar Dunlap.
Muslims don't view it that we're in a race, right, and we've got to beat the Christians, or, that's not how any Muslim should view it. We should view it that our job is to deliver the message because the truth stands on its own merits. He who wills, let him believe. He who wills, let him disbelieve. And that's actually mentioned in the Quran. But any group that isn't at least wanting to make their beliefs known to people, I would disqualify immediately because it just doesn't hold up, as we said. And there's a humorous joke about that, like that I always say. I tell people I dismiss Judaism immediately because if they're not going to try, neither am I. Kind of a funny little joke, and I think it's funny. And if you don't, I'm sorry. So anyway. So then we have to ask, where do we go to learn about these religions? Because, if you ask, it's not sufficient to go and read only books against that religion, right? Which is what some people do. Some Christians will do that about other religions. Some atheists do that about all religions, There are many atheists, and this is not indicative of all of them, but there are many atheists that read Richard Dawkins and think they know about religion and use that as an authority to say, ha ha ha, how stupid what you believe is. Boo religion, right? Yay atheism, or whatever. There are Muslims who do that, and that's not acceptable either. How many Muslims go and read a pamphlet by Ahmed Deedat and think they know the Bible, right? Boo Christians, yay Muslims, ah ha ha, I feel so good. That is not true scholarship, okay? And someone may hear that and say, well, yeah, but they're bringing up logical points. Well, anything that is a sentence, if it's self-consistent, it may make sense. But the question is that the whole picture? Is that really an accurate portrayal? Are things taken out of context? There's a lot of things going on there. All right, so it's not sufficient to just read the one person's view and think you know what's going on. Because true scholarship is not a list of people who say you're right. Okay? It's a list of... It's not a list of people who say you're right. It's not sufficient to say, I know that Islam isn't true because I asked my friend who agrees with me all the time and he said it isn't true, and I figured, well, if he always agrees with me on that, then he's probably right about that. I mean, that's not really sufficient. It's not a list of, knowing something about a religion is not a list of people who say you're right. So I would really encourage people to stay away from anyone who is obviously has an agenda and wants to bash any way of thought. at least for your first introduction. We should study things from an objective standpoint, ask questions, be legitimate, because it's not honest to go into a court hearing, and the judge says, the man before me is guilty and I want to see all the evidence that supports that, right? I mean, how is that fair? It's not fair. And such a judge would be fired and considered dishonest immediately, right? So, we hear the facts, we make up our minds, we study things from different viewpoints, and we take everything into consideration.
I certainly hope you guys enjoyed that clip from Omar Dunlap. I certainly did, brother. Well, see, I like those little sound bites he put in there, didn't he?
Yeah.
I like look on YouTube. They can check him out. His YouTube channel, I believe, is called The Letter Wayfarer. This is a part of a 3-part series. When he talks about how he became Muslim, I suppose we can say, but he talks about many things. And I like this piece because he's talking about being open-minded. And I suppose he's talking to non-Muslims, saying, look, don't just listen to your friend who said Islam isn't true. Do some research and go to the authentic sources and be intellectually honest. So that's why I picked that piece. And that's what you were talking about, brother. You were talking about your Chinese colleague at work, how you can give them dawah. And you're talking about giving them dawah through actions, not through words.
Yeah. Other situation, I must know good vocabulary about Islam, because I sometimes, if I make mistake with it, I can give some, misunderstood.
Right, of course.
Like the Chinese college told me about their branch in Algeria. They went there through Al-Adha festival, and they saw Muslims were, sacrificing Al-Adha. So after asking them why you're doing this, he said, every time of this year we kill sheep. Right. He said, why? Actually, the Algerian man had no, enough vocabulary to continue. So with no answer until he came back to Egypt. I told him it's not about killing, it's about sacrifice. Sacrifice from an old story from Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail to sacrifice himself.
Right.
And I told him
you explained the situation.
Yes, because if you want to go through introducing Islam, you must have good vocabulary. Otherwise, to forward him to someone who can give him this information in a better way.
That's really important.
Yes.
And that's where Hooded TV came in.
Yes.
So I want you to talk to us about Hooded TV, how it worked into this equation, this situation with the Chinese man. If you told him about Hooded TV and then if he started watching Hooded TV and if he ever accepted Islam. But before we get into that, we have to take a short break, you guys. So Brother Wasim, stay with us. You guys at home, stay with us. We're going to be right back here on Viewers Pulse, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
In a game of golf, both the caddy and the golfer have the same goal, to get the ball into the hole. Interest-free banking is similar. With a clear view of the fairway, a predefined agreement without shifting targets, things should end up where you want them. Your deposits are safe, and your funds are ethically managed with a transparent and equitable approach to sharing risk and reward. No interest burden means more time to relax without the worry of nasty surprises. Rest assured, our interest is mutual. Jazz Bank, Nigeria's first full-fledged non-interest bank.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Viewers Pulse. You guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for always supporting Hooded TV. And I forgot to mention some of the very important people that helped put this program together. And I can't forget to say my good friend Rabia from beautiful and lovely and sunny Monofea, Egypt. And I can't forget our dear brother Jabir from Minya, Upper Egypt as well. Thank you guys for your hard work. I certainly appreciate it. We are truly Eid Waqda. Having said that, brother, thank you. We're back. Your Chinese colleague at work. So you told him about Hooded TV, and he began watching Hooded TV.
Yeah.
What programs first of all, how did you discover Hooded TV in the first place?
From Facebook.
MashaAllah. Okay.
Yes.
And then you began watching yourself?
Yes. First of all, I wanted to know how can I introduce Islam to non-Muslims?
Right.
So I started to buy a translated version from Quran
MashaAllah.
and some Islamic books to give them to my colleges. But trying to read, especially the language barrier, the Chinese people say, yeah, we try to learn that.
It's very hard for
So
them,
it's very hard to them.
Right.
So beginning, I think, and I respect what are you guys doing here? Really, really, as a Muslim, I'm
Mashallah.
thanking you all for what you're doing
Okay.
now. But, you know, let us help you. Why don't you let the locals try to find like a way to introduce Al-Huda? Try
Right.
to work on the locals.
Right,
These
yeah,
guys are
yes.
going to help you
Right.
really to separate Islam, especially in the smart village. I have many colleges work with non-Muslims,
Right.
and they are looking forward for a gate. You know, Al-Azhar is really doing in Egypt,
Right.
especially is doing a great job. But you know, media plays a very important part in inspiration. You know,
Right, of course.
maybe I'm forwarding Al-Huda to any non-Muslim. Maybe he can forward to another, to
Yeah,
another, to
sure,
another.
sure.
Maybe what Al-Azhar are doing is an old-fashioned way.
Yeah, yeah, they're
Not
not
right
up to-
now.
yeah, yeah.
What we need now is a Facebook group,
Right.
or playing on the media, or
Well, we have the
playing-
Huda TV Facebook.
Yes.
We want people to like. I always say on this program, please like and share the Facebook page to get the Huda TV message out there.
Right.
The message of Islam via Huda TV, in other words.
The
yeah.
message of Islam also, but I think from this point of view, the audience can play a very important part in spreading and making other people know. Because if I'm looking on the other side broadcast, if I'm expecting a Chinese man staying in America watching Al-Huda TV, maybe he can get a one shot, and he can't find anything interesting from one shot.
Right.
Okay,
Right, sure.
but if the Chinese style is looking, I trust Wisam, I trust Muhammad. So whatever Muhammad says, I'm going to trust it. It's good.
right, right.
So to work on the trusted one, or the third trusted party,
Right.
this will help them really, you know, knowing and having the deep knowing of Islam. Especially now after 11th September,
Right,
they
right.
had a pattern vision of anyone with beard
Right,
and
right.
wearing gutra or shimar is a
Right.
terrorist.
Right,
So
right.
don't listen to him. He's going to say a crap
Right, yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
But if I know and I deal with someone I really trust, and this guy is telling me the gate to
Yeah,
know Islam, then this guy is not bluffing. He's
Right,
telling
sure.
the truth.
Yeah, excellent point, brother. You know, on this program, I do like to give the viewers some news and give them talk about the what we have planned. We have and what new programs are going on. So,
Okay.
brother, we've been talking about a new program called Gardens of the Pious. I don't know if you have a chance to, if you've watched it yet. It airs Wednesday, 9 p.m. Mecca time every Wednesday. It's Dr. Salah's new program. It's an explanation of the book Riyadh al-Salihin. Really, brother, if you haven't seen it, I want you to tune into it because it's really a marvelous program, and it's one of the new programs by Dr. Salah. So definitely, have you seen that one yet, brother?
No, yeah, yeah.
Wednesday 8 p.m. your local time here, or 9 p.m. Mecca time, inshallah.
Working on it.
Inshallah. Also, we have a brand new program, Tonight. And I want you to be part of that program if you're available, brother. Saturdays and Mondays, it's 8 p.m. Cairo time, 9 p.m. in Mecca. And it's really trying to address new stories. I don't want to say new stories. What's the word I'm looking for? Positive stories, or interesting, not necessarily positive, but interesting stories all around the Muslim world in order to kind of
Getting feedback.
yeah, get feedback from people, make people aware of things that perhaps they weren't aware of. Something happening in the UK, like I recently saw a niqab ban in the UK. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, inshallah. So I want you to be a part of that if you're available to sit with me as a guest. That would
no
be nice.
problem.
Also, brother, we have a program called Tech Talk,
TikTok.
and you're an engineer, so this might perhaps be interesting. Perhaps we can bring you on
Time
there.
bomb or what?
Yeah, well, Tech Talk, we want to bring the Muslims up to date, with everything. All this technology stuff, these iPads. People, maybe they don't know how to use the internet, how to use certain phones and things like that. So as an engineer, I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Okay.
So this brother, Omar, he's airing Tech Talk Season 2. I want the viewers to stay in touch with that and to follow up with that because it truly is a interesting program that's beneficial. Because this program truly is, a comprehensive program. We want to cover all fields. And although we specialize in Islamic sciences, we want to get everybody in there, all walks of life and things like that. So, but back to your story, brother, about sharing Huda TV with your coworkers. So what programs do you specifically recommend for non-Muslim people here on the channel?
Non-Muslim people, according to their background and what they are expecting to see in Islam, do they want to see a new vision for their life? Because I really, tear apart when I hear that somebody suicided or
Yeah,
killed
yeah.
himself
Right.
after he lost all the hopes.
Right.
You ask yourself, haven't anyone told him about Islam?
Yeah, subhanAllah.
This is a great responsibility, really. One day when we were coming back from work and the Chinese people were with me, I made them go to the Hosari Mosque.
It's a local mosque here
Yes.
in Egypt, yes.
Yes, they took off their shoes and, you know, saw the Muslim people praying. Really, they got really, you know, affected by this sight.
MashaAllah.
Yes. You know, you gotta see from one side, maybe some people want only to see Muslim people praying, you know, in unity. This make a lot of people want to go in Islam and see the unity.
Yeah, they want to see that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother. They want to see that unity in Islam. It's a beautiful thing. Perhaps we'll help them accept Islam. But before we go on to the story, we want to show the viewers the Facebook. Every night, brother, we post a comment or question rather on Facebook, and we're asking the viewers for their feedback. This is the purpose of our Facebook page and this program. So now you can see the Facebook comments on your screen. We had Sister Robin Burgess. She's very active. May Allah bless her, and thank you for posting your wonderful comments on there. They're very insightful. The question is on there. You guys can read the question. You can read the comment. You know, I'm sad though. I feel like we're not getting enough out of the Facebook. I want people to leave comments and post and share it, because Facebook, brother, it's a wonderful way, an easy way to spread Islam all around the world. We have to use it. We have to like it. We have to share it. We have to support it. We only have 60,000 fans on likes on Facebook, but we have how many millions of viewers? So we definitely want to encourage people to use our Facebook to answer the question of the night here on Viewers Pulse, to like it and to share it. Brother, we're out of time for this episode of Viewers Pulse, but if you're available, I'd like to have you on Ummah Tonight, inshallah, which airs every Saturday and Monday, where we're talking about, you know, matters that affect the Muslim world. Are you available, brother?
Okay.
What topic would you like to see addressed? And then Ummah Tonight.
At Ummah Tonight, my topic is how to become a da'iyah in the new style, how to make youth and young people know Islam better, and how can they know the Islamic vocabulary, and what's the best way for them to become, you know, da'iyah, because da'wah is a great responsibility and it's on every Muslim. It's a responsibility on me. I have to be responsible to make at least one Muslim or one people to become a Muslim. So taking care of this and knowing the best way for it, maybe it can come from an action. Maybe a sudden action can make anyone to become a Muslim, to get convenience in what I believe.
Of course.
So do I pretend myself, or I consider myself qualified to represent Islam? That's the first question that everyone must ask himself before getting into da'wah. I think that's the first question. And I think Al-Huda can play a great part in it. To know, like have a regular program that tells people how to become da'iyah, know the vocabularies of fasten, the hajj, the pilgrim, like this, I think.
Yeah, I think it's important to connect with the youth for sure, because, I mean, they're the future. And so we hope that the Huda TV can obviously do that, achieve those goals, and also spread this message and broadcast it in more countries, because, as you know, brother, we broadcast here in the Middle East, throughout the better part of Africa, as from what I understand. And of course we're online, but I believe we haven't reached our target audience because it's an English language channel. So we need to reach the Europe, America, Canada, Australia. That's our target audience because they're English speakers. However, that doesn't mean at the expense of the English speakers in Nigeria, in South Asia, in Malaysia, these countries where there's a large number of English speakers, they are also our target audience. Go ahead.
With full respect to this point of view, but I told you before, after 11 September, they had a pattern vision. You know, I know Malik, I trust him, but other people are going to take, you know, a fraction of a second. They are going to see Malik with a beard. Okay, this guy is a terrorist. Don't listen to him. Turn on the channel.
But can we ever
with my respect to this point of view, but I'm putting myself in front of an American audience, or one from Texas or Kansas or Mississippi. So I want to enter this guy. So this guy may have the chance to treat with a Muslim who happens to be an honest, grateful one, and this guy is telling this American audience to listen to Al-Huda. I think that's the best way right now, because we need is the trust. The Chinese people, from my dealing with them, you know, they're really hard to trust anyone.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So it's hard to
so they trust me or trust Muhammad or trust Ahmad. Ahmad is telling them watch Huda. I think this is a very effective way.
Of course, yeah. Like you said, if we're not qualified to give the dawah ourselves, we bring them to someone who is qualified. In this case, you can say, "Hey, watch Huda TV."
This non-qualified person may gain their trust.
Yeah, right. And then you bring it to a qualified person, which in this case is Huda TV, you can say, hey, watch this program, watch that program,
Yeah.
watch Sheikh Asam, watch Dr. Salah. We can do that. Thank you for your time, brother. We're out of time. The episode goes by really fast. I look forward to having you soon, inshallah, on the Ummah Tonight, according to your
Inshallah.
schedule, inshallah. You
Inshallah.
guys at home, thank you for watching Huda TV. Don't forget to watch Living Hearts. Don't forget to watch Islamic State, Path to Salvation, Nation of Goodness, Book Review, Dubai Peace Convention, all this good stuff. And we have a big surprise. I'm not going to break it to you yet. It's a really, 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 really big surprise. We're hoping to launch a really big program soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You have to stay tuned to Viewers Pulse. So until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.